Kia ora, whakaalofa lahi atu, and welcome back to this week's Q&A Friday. I am so excited to get into today's question, which is, how do I practice self-compassion? And I talk about this a lot when it comes to body image. We need to practice self-compassion, right? We lack a lot of self-compassion when it comes to our body image, the things that we say to ourselves, that we hate ourselves, that we hate our bodies, that we hate what we see in the mirror. So I was talking about this in my broadcast channel with the girls. If you're not in that broadcast channel, you need to come in it. It's called The Secret Self-Love Spot. So check that out on your chat in the channels and come and join us. So I was telling the girls in there that I had received this photo. And as soon as I saw the photo, I was kind of like, ooh, like, is that what I look like? Like, I was a bit like judging, like being like, ooh, like what's going on there kind of thing. Have you ever had that when it comes to photos? Tell me, let's be real. And, coming from me, because, I talk about, body image and loving yourself and being confident in yourself and your body and all the things. So it was kind of like, oh, what? Like Leash does that? And with the work that I do, I think it's very important to show this, because what I'm kind of talking about or sharing in this world isn't that, I have a magic pill and here, have this magic pill and it will eradicate, hating yourself and you'll love yourself and it's a switch and, and all this butterflies and rainbows kind of thing. It's not. It's a practice that we have to continue to do. And I still do. It's 5-6 years of work that I've done, deep work on myself, and still I have to learn and practice. Practice. Well, yeah, learn. There is learning in it. Practice and train myself. And in these times, I think it's important to know that these are going to come up. There are going to be times where you don't necessarily like the photo and you judge what you look like, or you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like what I look like. But it's that we have the tools in place that when we do have these moments that we can be like, cool, okay, I got to do this. And what I'm going to share with you today is an acronym that I have put in place to practice when it comes to, not having self-compassion, when we don't have, and we need self-compassion. So, this practice, I feel like, really helps you from not going on that downward spiral. Have you ever seen a picture of yourself and be like, oh, I look ugly, I hate what I see, and then you go on this downward spiral of, you know what, I'm not gonna go out tonight, I'm not gonna go to that event, I'm not gonna show up, I'm not gonna come online, I'm not gonna do all the things, I'm not gonna go to work, I'm gonna jump in bed and numb out on my phone and eat food, binge eat. That was what I did a lot of. People go to other things where they can numb out, smoking, drinking, drugs, all the things, but you numb out on it, right? So I want to share with you this acronym, and it's what you need to do when there are those times of, you really need to practice self-compassion. So the acronym is ACT. And when do you need to practice self-compassion? So in the moments when, you're talking shit to yourself in the mirror, you're saying, mean things to yourself. When you see these photos, for me, it was seeing that photo and judging myself and being like, ooh, like, is that what I look like? But always in these negative moments when you're kind of, really being mean to yourself and saying all these nasty things to yourself. So the first letter, so the acronym's ACT. Did I already say that? The acronym is ACT, and the first letter is A. So A is for awareness, right? So we need to become aware of it, right? A lot of the times we are unaware of what's going on in our minds. So if we go back to that photo, for example, I could have easily been like, ooh, I hate that. I hate the way I look, and then go on with my day, and then my day be really shitty, and me not wanting to do things, me being really upset and sad and all the things and not knowing why. like having no idea why, but just being like, oh, it's just a really shitty day today. But if you actually took awareness to what happened in the beginning, it's like, oh, that photo sent me on this downward spiral to having a bad day. So it's like we need to become aware, because, you know, that thought, whatever came up there, really determines, you know, how we feel, and then it goes into how we act, right, in our reality in life. So really becoming aware of what's going on in the first place. And then you want to acknowledge it. So acknowledging it as well. Like you could easily, you know, be aware. There's so many people out there who are aware of what's going on. You know, I hate my body. I hate the way I look. I hate what I see in the mirror, but they don't acknowledge it. They just, you know, push it to the side, or they numb out. They don't give it the time and space. So it's really important that we acknowledge it. You know, we see it, you know, what's coming up, you know, what is it? Ew, why is it ew? You know, so really acknowledging it and seeing it and hearing it, and what is coming up. And you don't have to do this straight away as well. For me, when I initially saw that photo, it wasn't something I could do straight away because I was doing so many other things. So I was like, you know what, had that, kind of put it away. And then it wasn't till, I think it was the day later, the night later, that I looked at it and was like, oh, okay, it's time to acknowledge it and go through the ACT acronym. So then we want to challenge it, challenge what's coming up. Ew, why is it ill? Why are you saying it's ill, Leash? You know, is it true that it's ill? So really challenging the thoughts that are coming up, and, you know, realizing that. So for me, when I started challenging it, it was like, why do I think it's ill? What about it is ill in the first place? And the thing for me was I didn't like the way my cheeks were, on the angle that it was on, being real here, and my eyelids were drooping. They looked really droopy in this photo. So just challenging that, like, compared to what? What are you comparing to it? Is it too droopy? Are your eyelids too droopy? Is your face too chubby? Is your face too fat? Really challenging those things. And they bring out a lot of, it brought up a lot for me, like, oh, what was I comparing it to? I was comparing my eyelids to so many other people's eyelids. I was comparing my chubby cheeks to, I was told growing up that, like, you know, you've got chubby cheeks, Leash, all the time. So it was like, that was reignited in me. And I had to really challenge that and be like, do I want to believe that? You know, do I want to go ahead with that? So yeah, we're challenging it, and then we're changing it as well. So, and sometimes it's not easy to just be like, oh, I hate my eyelids. They're so droopy. I love my eyelids now. It's like, that's not real. Let's be real. And I couldn't do that straight away. I was like, to be honest, I don't like, I just don't like it. To be, being honest, I don't like it. So instead of changing, it to be a positive, how everyone says, have your, when it's a negative thing, change it to a positive, the positive affirmations, it's changing the way you think about it. So for me, it was like changing my focus. Instead of focusing on all the things that I hate about the picture, let's focus on all the things that I love. And you know what? In that picture, I loved so many things. I loved my outfit. I loved my hair. I loved how my clothes fit me. I loved my style. I loved my nose. I loved my teeth. I loved my eyebrows. There were so many things in there. I loved my eyes. So it was changing my focus to focus on what I loved instead of what I hated. Because I feel like we tend to just go straight to the negative, straight to the hate, what we hate. So going to, changing your focus, changing the way that you think about the thing, and really, changing the focus to what you love. So changing the way you think about it, changing the thought in the first place. Is it ill? No, I love it. If that doesn't work for you, just changing it around to focusing on something you do love. And then care. We lack a lot of care, right? So treating yourself as someone, how would you treat someone that you love? How would a woman who loves herself show up in the world? So really giving that care. And for me in that moment, there wasn't necessarily like, so you'd give yourself kindness, love, all the things. But for me, it was understanding and acceptance. That's what I was really struggling with in those moments, just accepting and understanding. So changing it into having that care. How would you treat someone you loved? How would you talk to someone you love? You wouldn't see a photo and be like, ew, like how disgusting. Look at those eyelids. Look at your chubby face and all the things. You would not say that to someone you love. So really going in with that care. How would you speak to someone that you love? And then thankfulness. So it's actually gratitude, but I had to keep within the acronym. So instead of, G, I put a T, so thankfulness. Being thankful for what your eyes do. And I actually, in this moment, well, whatever it is that you're focusing on, but in this moment, it was my eyelids, right? So I actually Googled, I was like, what's the point of eyelids? And in there, I was like, wow, without my eyelids, I wouldn't be able to sleep. It gives your eyes moisture. So you'd have freaking sore eyes. It stops it stops things from getting in your eyes. Like, it prevents the dust and the dirt and all the things. It gives you a good night's sleep. So without it, I had really, really sore eyes. I wouldn't be able to see. I wouldn't be able to do half the things that I do. So really being thankful for, for having eyes or whatever it is in the first place. So yeah. And then we have, what ACT. And then the other T is throw it away. And this is also like, I want to say let it go, but that doesn't start with a T as well. So throwing it away, letting it go, right? Not holding on to that the whole day and going through your day with, I hate my face, I hate my chubby face, I hate my eyelids or whatever it is, I hate my body or whatever. Just letting it go. Let it go, throw it away, be done with it. Don't allow it to consume you and consume your day and consume your life. So letting it go. And that's not to say it might come back, these things might come back, but going through the same process again when it does come back up to A, then to C, then to T. And that goes into training. Like, we need to practice it, right? It's a training. When I first started this work, it was, really hard for me to practice self-compassion, but it's a practice, right? We have to train ourselves because for so long we have learned to not be compassionate to ourselves. We have learned that it's okay to talk shit to ourselves, We've learned that, being negative and pointing out everything we hate in our bodies and what we look like is normal. That's okay. So we have to unlearn that. We have to untrain ourselves and then train ourselves to, go into this practice with love and kindness and care and awareness and acknowledging and all the things. So that's my acronym there. I've kind of done it really quickly for you because we've only got limited time. It's already been 12 minutes, but I've really tried to make it as easy as possible for you. When you notice these times you look in the mirror and you say something bad to yourself, oh my gosh, you're so fat and disgusting, look at your freaking stomach hanging out, look at your stomach, look at your stomach in the first place, hide that shit, all the things, it's like, oh, remember what Leash said. She said, ACT, the acronym. Okay, let's go. Awareness, acknowledge, go through the motions, right? And I promise you, if you keep practicing it, it will help you so much for it to just be automatic. One thing, me looking at that photo of myself, that would have easily took me in this downward spiral of self-hatred and self-loathing. But because I'm training myself, because I'm on, this practice to self-compassion, it was like, cool, okay, straight away going into ACT. Or even, the next day it was going into ACT, cool. And then after a while, it was like, I sent this in the broadcast channel. By the time I went to go explain to the girls in my broadcast channel, the secret self-love spot, I went to go explain to them what had happened. It was like, when I saw the photo that time, I was like, oh, I actually like this photo. Like, it's actually a really cool photo. Like, I really love it. Like, it's cool. So that is how to practice self-compassion. I also want to let you know that the Vibe Tribe doors are open, which I'm so excited about. I have been, I love the work that we do in the Vibe Tribe. If you don't already know what the Vibe Tribe is, it's a safe space for plus size women to come and learn how to love and accept their bodies, to know that they are, to be confident in their plus size bodies, and to know that they are worthy as is, that they don't need to make any changes, that they don't need to lose weight, and to love what they see in the mirror. So the doors to that is open right now, and I have a special offer. If you do want to come and join me in there, please DM me and just say the Vibe Tribe, DM me TVT, and I'll give you that special offer. But thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Fat Fridays Q&A IG Live. Thank you for the love. I see you guys with the hundreds and the hearts. Hey Kelly, thank you for being here. Ty, Lady Ariel, thanks for being here. Layla, Caitlin, love you guys. Have the best Friday. Thank you for being here. Ka kite, koe kia.